company with Mobile offices published a review on the potential crude oil pipeline that Mobile area water and sewage system has been fighting for the past year.
Fox 10 News reporter Katie Weiss joining us live in the studio with the latest developments. Katie, what did you find out?
Well, MAWSS passed a resolution yesterday that takes a firm stand against plans that against Plains South Cap putting a crude oil pipeline through an area of land that MAWSS owns and wants to protect. Now, MAWSS says that it's been against the pipeline construction since day one, but this particular resolution comes after a global company with Mobile offices called KBR conducted a study about the pipeline and published a report indicated what could happen if it were to be constructed throughout the watershed. MAWSS has been opposed to the Plains South Cap pipeline construction for more than a year now. If constructed, the crude oil pipeline would run through a large portion of the Big Creek Lake watershed, including Hamilton Creek, which has direct runoff into Big Creek Lake, a body of water that provides the drinking water of some 250,000 people. MAWSS says it hired KBR, a company that deals with oil regularly, to conduct a study on the company and its oil pipeline history to get a better idea of the dangers that the pipeline could pose. The report states that a rupture or leak inside the watershed would be a catastrophic event to MAWSS's raw water reservoir, and the only option to eliminate all risks to the Big Creek Lake watershed would be to completely relocate the pipeline out of the watershed. MAWSS officials say that the recommendation appeared 20 times throughout the document.
This is our drinking water. We can't risk having oil in our drinking water. That's just an unacceptable risk.
Plains South Cap says that they've already spent nearly $80 million on constructing the crude oil pipeline behind me. Now, they say that they're not going to turn back and that the KBR report gives them no reason not to. The KBR report states that in the last 8 years, there have been a very small amount of incidents with hazardous liquid pipelines. The report also explains that Plains has acquired necessary environmental permits from the Alabama Department of Environmental Management and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Now, Plains South Cap has said that it will reimburse MAWSS for the cost of having KBR conduct the study. I spoke with Plains Representative Jonathan Gray earlier today. He says that Plains has not completely reviewed the 50-page report yet, but the company will release a statement later on this week on the matter. Bob.